Ok, bonsoir à tous.
Hello everyone, good evening.
On a un petit peu moins de monde que...
So we got fewer people than our rock star Yelena had in the public, but thank you everybody for having stayed there. Mathieu, who's the cultural attaché of the French Embassy in New York, Lily Bessart, who's joined my team in September, so still in the cultural service of the French Embassy, Alliance. And also this is a representative of the digital, Alain Charrière for New Media of the CNC, and Benoît Blanchard, who does short films and virtual reality, Unifrance. So maybe you're wondering why we're all here on stage in front of you. So very rapidly, the cultural services of the French Embassy in the United States. So we're on the Fifth Avenue, and we have been since 1952. So we look after everything to do around cooperation, cultural and education. Collaboration between France and the United States. We have branches in 9 cities, Boston, Los Angeles, San Francisco. Juliette Donadieu is here with us, so she's from the West Coast in San Francisco, New Orleans, Miami, etc. So we cover the classic domains which you're well aware of, the cinema, theatre, dance, university cooperation and so on. But and also now, since for some years now, we are looking and we're following and monitoring closely the development of new media, new content, and virtual reality, VR. So from our side, everything started around the end of 2014, and when we welcomed the prototype, we took on board the first prototype of The Enemy, the project of Karine Paifa, produced. And they were with us in New York in the embassy for 4 days, and that was when it really struck us that this was very interesting, and we started looking at producers, creators, directors of immersion content and virtual reality. So for 3-4 years we've been finding our way. We've started to put in place partnerships with different festivals in the United States, at Tribeca in New York, Miami one, the Sundance in Utah. And this year we have decided to structure ourselves to be more visible, and to implement a program which can respond to your expectations all together by trying to looking to coordinate the French public action with our financings, which are not all the same according to different divisions. Some of them are
représentants d'institutions publiques.
Which represent public institutions. So that is why we said we'll launch a program for backing writers and producers of virtual reality, video 360, augmented reality, and to accompany you on a prescriptive market, which is the United States, video games, immersive installations. Also, it's vast. This project that we're launching here today now, our first action will take place for the Festival of Tribeca, which takes place from the end of April in New York, and which is one of our key partners and has been so for 3 years. And it will evolve with you as you evolve. Everything that we're going to be presenting today is not set in stone, and we're going to be able to think about evolutions with the different partners in the coming years. But I'll give the floor now immediately to Benoît de Villefranche. Can you tell us a bit about what you do, who you are? So I'll be very short. Hello everyone. Unifrance, for those of you who don't know it, it's an association which looks after the promotion of French cinema throughout the world. Our commitment with the VR has been a bit later. It's the beginning of 2016 that we started, and very quickly it brought us about modifying our status of association, and now we've integrated virtual reality into articles of association. So once we became aware of the direct links between the cinema and these new ways of writing, things have happened rapidly. So looking after virtual reality, that is to give them it starts by giving them the same visibility as our traditional cinema, a presence on our website so that it can exist, also for 360, but also for the other formats. We are also making them available on our site and visible, and also to allow the talents, creators, producers, directors to accompany their work abroad. So in 2 years we have helped approximately 20 professionals, help them accompany their creations throughout the world. Different people Different people have benefited from the backup and the support of Unifrance, Western Europe, but also the United States, Tribeca, Sundance, South by Southwest, also
Festival of Storytelling at New York,
and the festival, another festival in New York, Stories, and so we've been talking more often with the cultural services of the French Embassy in the United States to ensure that we were not helping the same person twice, or that we're not saying no to people that they turned down also already. And so this program was the opportunity for us to make official something that we've been working on informally for just under 1 year now.
Agnès pour l'Institut Français.
Agnès for the French Institute. So I'm absolutely in agreement with what I've just heard. So we promote the French culture internationally in close collaboration with our colleague from the diplomatic world, of the cultural worlds of the French Alliance throughout the world, l'Alliance Française. So we're working on the new media, the new way of the new audiovisual tools, VR notably, with different initiatives, in particular one which I would like to remind all the producers, artists, authors who are here. It's culturevr.fr, which is a bilingual website which is looking to promote the cultural creation in France in the domain of immersive reality. So it is very contributive, so you can offer your works, your sculptures, your company, whatever it may be, so that it appears on this site, which is a tool which is very useful for our colleagues, which is a shop window for the presentation of everything that France produces in this domain, which is also a tool of networking, a networking tool in which we're trying to reference and bring together the whole ecosystem which is currently being built and appearing around these different topics. So we were approached by our colleagues from the embassy for this initiative, a French Immersion, and so we immediately responded positively, naturally, in order to bring together and embody a collaboration which has been happening non-officially for some time now. So we all want all together to promote French talent in the domain of immersive reality.
Anna pour le CNC.
Oui.
So the CNC now, so very rapidly the CNC.
Comme tout le monde, présenter donc le
So it's the Centre National du Cinéma. We really work around digital creation through a new media since 2007, over 10 years, and the project, virtual reality projects arrived quite naturally within our system at the end of 2014, and they were helped and aided, and of course every time there were more and more projects which have been presented, first at the development stage, and then they arrived at writing, development, production, and since now the end of 2014 we've helped approximately 100 projects which represent 5 million euros, give or take, and more globally we also intervene, CNC, we intervene with everything to do more with the technological side, so we're not just looking at creation and the backing of to creators and producers, but also looking to back up technology and bring technological solutions in the direction of innovation. So we're between 6 and 7 million euros of investment on projects in virtual reality. So with regard to the other speakers, we intervene a bit more upstream, so with the major stake, one of the major stakes is the internationalization, the globalization of the projects, to be able to find co-producers outside France, because the financing and the budgets are difficult to find just in the national territory of France. So we have participated for 3 years now in a workshop project with Canada through Souvrette on a project called Les Ateliers Grand Nord. And one of the major challenges is also to be able to accompany the different actors on the different international festivals that exist, to be able to accompany the productions, the works, to show them, to screen them, and to find funds where possible, and to meet directly the partners. So this is the United States is very important for us. Naturally, it's the most active market in existence, and so it's fantastic that this action is happening, that it be very visible, even if a lot of people have not yet heard talk about it. But it's fantastic that this is happening. Yes, absolutely. That is the idea behind presenting it here in NewImages within this festival, and the focus, the VR festival, the VR focus of the Institut Français. It's to make available all the information. So we have press releases in French and in English, which are at your disposal over here. So you'll have understood this, that our objective, in a modest way, it's to be efficient on a market and a territory which is very important, which is massive, which is the American one. And we have prepared a mapping here. So here are the festivals, the major festivals. The program is looking to help French producers who work in the immersive universe, VR and so on, and who are selected in the festivals, and the American festivals, who are programmed or scheduled in the cultural institutions and places and venues in America. So the major festivals, well, we're all aware of them. The Tribeca Film Festival in New York City, naturally, which happens from the 8th of April. The Sundance New Frontier in Utah, and the scheduler is not here, but she's here on the festival. I don't see her in this auditorium. She's selecting projects, so that's very important, of course, now. So, we've met with her. South by Southwest now in Texas, that is one of the 3 major festivals in the sector. Naturally, everyone knows it. Among the festivals which the cultural services are festivals, there's Colcoa in LA. It's a festival of French film which has existed since it was just founded last year, so very recent. And the next edition is in just a few weeks at the end of April.
Future of Storytelling, donc ça c'est un festival qui se tient en
Now, the Future of Storytelling, that's in September. It's a festival in New York. It will be the 3rd edition in 2019. So we've helped several projects there last year. Filmgate in Miami and Florida, that's in November. So as you can see, we're trying to really valorize and bring to the fore the French work, and not just on each coast, but throughout the United States. So, for instance, that's why we put these partnerships together, and then there are different institutions that we work with, the MIT in Boston, Media Lab, which is welcomed at the end of 2017, Jérémy, and we hope that other places, other venues with whom we have not yet established any partnerships officially, but our colleague here is working on this, and based in San Francisco, the LACMA of Los Angeles. So they had a work that was taken there, and so we hope that precedent will bring about others. And in Chicago also there was a French Innovation Week which was implemented by our colleagues in Chicago, so that's 2112. And the MOMI in NYC, Amomi, which is also a cultural venue, a cultural place, which is not very different from the Loeria, which has screenings, exhibitions, which a few years back had an exhibition which is initiated by the French Centre in Montreal in interactivity, and which is focusing and is interested, not yet officially, but to virtual reality. So those 11 points of contact that exist, but as Mathieu was saying, this is nothing is cast in stone, and this will all evolve. There'll be new elements, new components coming on board. So it's a massive territory, not just at the United States, but there's other other territories. So if we now, so I have just text now, no more pictures. So the contribution, it's a contribution to traveling costs for French producers and French production companies, so which are selected for festivals, and so we help with the transport and accommodation. So who can apply for that? It's we go through the Space Foundation, the foundation of American law, but it's a foundation of the Cultural Services of France, which enables us to find funds, private funds from everywhere, from the US, fund. And so our objective is to find private partners and American partners. It goes through our foundation space. So there are limits to what we can contribute. The maximum is 800 euros per trip and per person, but we agreed on that because it's what is done already currently. A maximum of 2 trips, so it's 2 people per project for each selection. So everything is in line. You can find the details and the information on our site. The address appears in our press release. There's a maximum of a selection that you can apply for, help for on over a year. And there are for one production company there are 4 selections for one project. There's a maximum of 2 selections per year, but the priority is given to companies who have received the less money to date, because the objective of this program is also to get people benefit from the most producers possible. This backing, because we really want to get the ecosystem to evolve, to emerge, and there are companies which are already well recognized, which are starting to be recognized at any rate in the United States, and we want to see ever more coming and appearing on the scene. So it's very concrete, it's completely concrete, so the schedule, it follows that of the festivals and of the programations and the scheduling in the US cultural venues. So if you have a project, you can look at that, and I'd be delighted to if you come up and speak to me after this presentation and to give you more information, should you so require. But for you, what is important is that you have a single portal, who is Emily here. We're all part of it, but so you have a point of contact and you can interface with me directly. And then we can all work on it together. But if you come and see me, and I can be your point of contact, Emily.
Présentation des justificatifs. Voilà, c'était un.
That was a brief overview, so it was to give you to concretely so that you can find out how we're working. We based ourselves on the criteria of Unifrance, what is a practice with regard to films, to cinema films, classic cinema films. So we based ourselves on their system. So that's the first stage, and then we can see how things can evolve, how we can shift the lines. But our first objective is to really find additional funds for a start next year. In order to be able to widen our criteria and provide subsidies for even more people. But it's a start, it's a beginning, and we hope that it will take off and that we can help you. Can I just add 2 additional things for people who have been fortunate enough to collaborate with us already in simulation? I have to say that this shared project for Unifrance, we'll have 2 to 3 more projects than I can do on my own, and with amounts which are quite superior to the ones that we had so far. And then another comment to try and summarize the philosophy with which we've tried to develop this program. It's on the one side, we've been strict with regard to the criteria, so we remain attached to the idea that you need a producer who's French, an idea which is French. I think that will be a recurring topic. So it really needs to be a French project. But on the other hand, as Emily was saying, there will be this idea of virtual reality. It's something which is quite moving. We're very open with regard to the type of work that we can support. I was talking about 360, for instance, but it can also be a location-based, downloadable work. Maybe one single person can follow it for half an hour, or 30,000 people simultaneously. So we're very strict on one side, but very open on the other hand. And with the mapping that we showed you with regard to the United States, what's important for us, it's the festivals which are prescriptive today, which are the main ones today on the US market and in the world market indeed. Those are festivals with which we've created the cultural service partnerships, specific partnerships, like Kolkoa, or at the request of the festival, we've created a space of virtual reality, and the second edition will take place at the end of April for the Kolkoa, but all that is evolving and will evolve. So if you have any other ideas, any other venues or projects that you know about for installations with institutions, cultural institutions, don't hesitate to contact us and to speak to us about those. We have also other means of helping and of backing the distribution of French work throughout America and the American territory. So this program is in addition to other programs that we have already, sometimes with Unifrance and sometimes with the Alliance Française. Do you have any questions?
Bonsoir.
Hello. And what about the subsidies which are already existing for festivals, other festivals which are outside the United States? For instance, I'm thinking about festivals in Canada. What happens to those subsidies? Do they still exist? Will they be replaced? No, nothing changes at that level. Outside the United States, we retain our system of aid, of help, of subsidies. And we haven't yet looked at the issue directly, but it's true that in the United States there are festivals that we are partners of, and when we're open to negotiation we can talk about it. If there are in the United States, if there are other festivals, we can look at that, but outside the United States nothing changes for us. But we hope that we hope to see things evolve, but here this is really focused on the United States. French Immersion, it's really the 11 venues. No. As we're saying, this is the base, this is a foundation. But if it happens that there's a festival, a fantastic festival, which is being organized anywhere throughout the United States, which is really fantastic, but those places which are identified by you, yes. So other venues can be suggested. Well, we can talk together, we can exchange with you if you have an idea. So we're quite flexible at that level. So we really want to work collaboratively. So it's not automatically that we'll accept any other venue. There'll be talks, we'll look at what it is, so we'll monitor the situation. Yes, it's venues. Those are the venues with which we've all worked individually or collectively together in the past for the past 3-4 years, the ones that we showed on the map. But it will evolve, and it can evolve. Hello. Congratulations for this fantastic initiative. I was asking myself a question. Do the distributors and the people that with French work, those people that you can accompany if they're helping French, even if they're not French, if they're helping French products? Not in this project, no, but it's something that we do regularly. But it remains cultural, but we accompany regularly distributors. Yes, the distributors of festivals. Outside this program, we accompany distributors. But we have all the entities represented here, and us at the embassy. We have a whole panel and a whole array of programs that exist, which are in different domains and at different levels to help and accompany this. We're just adding an additional layer here. Thank you. So you have the press release with the internet site and all the information here on to my right. So thank you.